Good after morning and welcome here to Turbo Tortoise Tech for our inaugural news episode. We'll be covering various things happening in the industry weekly and updating you about stuff that's happening internationally, abroad, as well as locally here in South Africa. So without further ado, let's kick it off with some AMD news. With their new 7nm launch on the horizon, their stock pricing has been on the increase, significantly up, and I can't imagine why, when a 3600X is going to set you back a whole 230 USD and basically be an R9 9900K. This does mean that their older stock is probably going to depreciate along with that, which is a bit of a setback for those that have bought some of the first gen and the second gen. It's not really a second gen. Zen Plus is basically the same as the first generation, just with a slightly better IPC. But now we're moving on to 7nm. So what does that mean? It means that there will be a lot more transistors on the chip and they will be able to be a lot more efficient. So it means that your overall performance and your wattage used will be much better, which does also lead me to believe that they are going to be making huge strides into the mobile market. Hopefully in the near future we'll be getting workstation class performance in a small form factor. Now, along with this, there is going to be the X570 launch, which will have GDDR6 support and PCI Express 4 support, which is just going to be simply fantastic. And they are launching some 7nm GPUs in the form of the Navi chip that they have. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better than the Radeon 7 launch. That wasn't the cleanest launch I've ever seen. The driver packs that were delivered to media across the world were a sketch, let's put it that way. They weren't the best, but on the other hand, the actual performance and price point was quite solid, which helped to stabilize the GPU market a little bit. Moving on to their main competitor, Nvidia has released DLSS support for Anthem. Now, I had presumed that, or assumed quite incorrectly, that the DLSS was going to be a bit of a gimmicky thing, and it's actually producing serious performance gains, 25 to 40%. Now that could be the difference between a playable and unplayable experience on 4K. So that's really, really good going from them. Along with that, they've also released part of their game ready driver for Battlefield 5 Firestorm, with the spec that they are going to suggest that you use for this thing to do some esports, and the spec is mad. Basically, if you don't have a Ryzen 7 2700, an i7 8700, 16 gigs RAM, and an RTX 2070, get out of here, you peasant. You are going to need some serious VUMA to be able to get to that kind of basic level. Even a 1080 Ti wouldn't compare when you're looking with ray tracing on compared to a 2070. So that's quite a tall order, I think, and ultimately, it's closing off a gate of accessibility to the title, which is less than ideal in my opinion, but we'll have to see how that shapes up as the things get more efficient. In other news from Nvidia though, ray tracing is doing spectacularly at the box office, as it were. It's now gotten support from Epic's Unreal Engine, Crytek, Frostbite, as we know, with Battlefield, and Unity. So they are four really big engines in the gaming world that have now incorporated ray tracing into their programmability, which is really good news for Nvidia. It seems that their gamble has paid off and that ray tracing is definitely going to be the future. In local news from Coolermaster, we are going to see their new SL600M coming to South Africa. Now, I have actually built in one of these and the internal layout is fantastic. The overall look and finish and quality of the product is good. I do think it's a little bit pricey for the segment. Hopefully they'll be able to bring that down as the rate of exchange hopefully improves here in South Africa. Internationally though, it's, I think, very competitive, and it should be on your radar, especially if you do like unique kind of internal layouts. The air is pulled through from the bottom all the way through to the top of the case, ensuring that you've got physics kind of on your side, you know, hot air rises, cold air falls. So it'll pull out from the bottom really nicely and through the top of your chassis. They're also going to be bringing their Q500L, which is like their Q300L, just in a bigger form factor. The one case I do wish they would bring though is the NR600. It's a $70 case and it's full mesh. So those that are seeking high airflow and outright performance, that's perfect for them. And it's very sleek and basic. So it's quite a nice look and feel that's got maybe they'll bring it. Let's hope that they do. We are going to be doing an MB500 giveaway. It's in case it's been around for a little while. I'm going to be building our other production PC into that and doing a review on that case, and shortly, well, I think actually next week already, or in this following week. This episode is being shot on the 3rd of May. We will be producing or putting that out probably on the 7th of May. We're going to start the competition for that MB500 and a 700 Rand backpack. It's a rather awesome new backpack. So we'll hook you up with some nice meaty chassis action and a backpack. I'm thinking of it as like a little LAN kit for you guys to go and visit your friends and that kind of stuff. If you are mobile with your PC, that's going to be a really nice setup there. We are going to be doing a Game DS, or we actually are in the middle of doing a Game DS peripheral feature. We've gotten their cooling products as well, so I'll be able to test that water cooling kit and the mouse headsets as well as, and then the fan kit as well, part of the cooling bundle. Hopefully we'll get some chairs from them. I want to check their chairs out because I'm quite a throne enthusiast, let's put it that way. I do like a comfy place for my buttocks. We'll see if we can polish it up with some Game DS goodies in the near future. And then after that, we're going to be doing a giveaway on that as well. So do look out for that. Probably going to come out somewhere towards the end of May. So do look out for that. Another thing I want to talk about is the Game Nation gaming forum that we went to a couple of weeks ago. Now, I actually wanted to put out a video on that a little bit sooner, but we had some issues and constraints. That's neither here nor there. But the overall experience of it was a little bit poorly administered. Romans definitely came to the party. A couple of the other things fell through, which was a bit feels bad for some of the people that had bought tickets to go and do that kind of thing. But I think the overall experience was positive, and I think that the people that were on the panel were really, really good, especially the gaming forum or the game development portion of that with Nyamcorp and the guys from Footfighter. I'm hoping that they're going to make my new game called Footbiter, which is an old toddler expansion to Footfighter, which I hope to bring out in the near future with the boys. Louis, I'm looking at you. But anyway, the only thing that I found exceedingly disappointing was the call to action that just doesn't exist right now in the esports arenas within South Africa. Every single time IEM, ESL or Co does a major tournament, they have a competition running for free stuff just for you coming and experiencing the thing. And that's, I think, is extremely important. And the major missing links that we have within the South African community right now is just we're not doing anything for audience creation. We're not spending enough time on that. The prize pool that we have is great, but it doesn't give people a reason to leave what they're doing and come and watch if they're not competing. Your competitors aren't going to be your viewership base. If you think of like an IAM, as I mentioned before, they have say 100,000 people on stream. There's not 100,000 competitors, and there's not 100,000 people entering those tournaments. There's what, say 300 total competitors that even went through from qualifiers. That's not enough to substantiate a viewership, and that's what you have to sell to the sponsors for them to reinvest to get new tournaments. Now look, it's also on the onus of us as a South African community to support events as much as we possibly can. But the event, I feel like the event coordinators, the TOs themselves, aren't doing enough investment in their audience and bringing their audience something to get excited about for their loyalty. I think that's a key missing link that's not there, and it was not discussed at all on that panel. So I definitely think that they should be paying attention to that. Now, something I want to address on the after of this news episode is why we kind of only have good tech here on T3. I don't really actually want to review a product that isn't well made or that has issues. I'd rather actually speak to the manufacturer after having a look at it and say, these were the pitfalls, this is what I found, this is what I didn't like, because reviewing a product that's only 20% good is wasting your time, my time, and their time, to be very honest. We put in a lot of effort into the editing and creating of those review episodes, and it's just not good if it's only going to be at 20%. Like, I'll still review a product if it's like 50% good, but if it falls below that and the cons outweigh the pros, then it's actually not even honestly worth supporting. As harsh as that might seem, we should reward manufacturers for making good product, and the ones that are bad, speak to them and tell them, how to improve it and what we would like to see in the future. Rather, I just feel like it's a better usage of everybody's time. And finally, what I would like to ask is what you guys would like us to cover. Would you like more industry news, more gaming news? What would you like us to cover here within these news episodes? Products coming to South Africa, expected launch dates, these kind of things. I could only think that could be beneficial, so you guys could plan financially for the knock that is the gaming hobby, as it were. And yeah, I'd just love to hear from you guys and see what you think. But thank you all so much for watching. We do hope to see you in the next one. Hit us up with a like and subscribe, why don't you?